can't turn my back. Never had no choice. Okay, mama, I'ma do the dishes. I'm praying on my knees. I have some wishes. That know the name, that got the fame. And even with no else, I'm cruising in my lane. I'm tryna get my deal before my EDD run out. I ain't saying if they ain't talking about them out. Be like on the shade room. YBS coin, that's it, that make the trade.
We are here celebrating our 2K TV wrap party, and we're gonna head into the Triple Threat Park today with two members of Team 2K TV, Danny and John, and one community member, Ebans. Welcome back to 2K TV. We are so excited to have you on the show once again. How are you doing today?
Doing good. Thanks.
A lot of sharp dressers coming off that Spurs bus as they arrived at the arena. Pumped up and primed for action. Welcome to 2K Sports Live Saturday night coverage of the NBA. Thanks for tuning in. Alongside Greg Anthony, Coach Stan Van Gundy, and our reporter, the Hall of Famer David Aldridge, I'm Kevin Harlan. And tonight, we'll be joined by the man with his finger on the pulse of the NBA, no one better than Shams Charania. Shams, it is so great to have you courtside with us.
Well, Kevin, thank you so much. Talking basketball is what and honestly, we were born to do, so let's do it.
And look at the guys by our side, man. We all love this game. Let's go right into it. So with Williams on the bench, here's how the floor looks for Greg Popovich. Allen is out there with Luka Doncic. And it's Duncan. And it's Embry in at center. And for Minnesota, LaMelo Ball is out there with Dwayne Wade. Then it's Barnes. And it's Shays in at the power forward. So the Timberwolves win the tip. Now here's Ball. Poked away. Here's Harrison. Covered by Barnes. Yep, it counts. Embry's got the first points up on the board for the Spurs.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive style.
Yeah, you got to love that kind of effort. Getting in there and fighting through the defense.
Ball, no good. The Minnesota Timberwolves coming to this one after the win against the Kings in Sacramento. Here's Harrison against New Orleans, who is really on his game. Here's Duncan. Sinks that one from the post.
And Duncan just superb when he gets in close to the basket. Has a number of moves to choose from, and that soft, delicate touch near the rim.
Here's Shays. Last game he had 12. Sampson kicks to Barnes. Just 5 to shoot. And the jumper is good. Hey, Shams, it seems like with these younger teams coming, we may be witnessing a transfer of power in the NBA. What do you think?
It's really due to the parity that we're seeing in the league, and we haven't seen this much parity in a really long time. It's wide open for teams in both conferences, in the East and West, to claim that top perch. We have to give the league a lot of credit. There's tons of parity.
Which I think is leading to expansion talk, correct? We've got so much talent right now, we can kind of let it ooze out a little bit to some other areas.
Certainly expansion, a couple more teams in the league, but the league really loves where they're at now. And any given year, anyone can win.
Now, here's Doncic. Nice open look, but it's no good.
I don't know what happened there. About as easy an attempt as you could possibly ask.
Shot from 12, and there's another one for the Timberwolves.
Good creation by Ball off that pick and roll. He can find clever ways to beat the defense.
Here's Harrison, covered by Barnes. Outside, Ball. About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Stolen by Allen, and here we go with Allen running it up the court. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
And the coaching staff has to be happy with how they've shot the ball here early on.
Sampson, the pass to Shays. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2. So, Shams, when the league brought in that 65-game played rule, it sure seemed to motivate players to suit up.
Those awards aren't just about prestige, Kevin. They're about cold, hard cash. And every summer, we're going to see records set for the biggest contract in NBA history. Every summer that goes by, and that certainly has an effect on players wanting to play and players being in the lineup. Now with the 65 games played rule, there is an incentive for all NBA teams and different accolades.
Well said.
He's looking very confident so far. The defense is going to have to account for him.
Doncic passes to Embry. Pass to Doncic. Shoots over ball. That's good from Doncic on the assist from Duncan. Doncic has got his second bucket of the game to go. Here's ball. No good. Nice D from Doncic. Pass to Arizon. Wing shot on the way. Again, the Spurs good for 2.
Yeah, he makes it look so easy out there. The game comes naturally to him.
Here's Sampson. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt. And so Doncic will bring it up for the San Antonio Spurs. 3-point lead. And Shams, I've always wondered, watching you, reading you, when did you first fall in love with the NBA? And when did you decide to cover it?
Really, when I was around 10, 11 years old, I grew up in Chicago right as the Bulls dynasty was starting. I wasn't quite old enough, but I was old enough to see some of those scrappy Bulls teams in the mid-2000s. And basketball was always a part of the national discourse, but also part of my life playing it, and then now being someone that's able to inform the audience and the public.
You know what? I'm looking up and down this table. I think we all feel the exact same way. Here's Barnes. Following the basket by Tim Duncan. Barnes passes to Wade. Back to Barnes. 5 to shoot. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. Shays can't hit. Spurs leading by 7. There's 45 seconds left in the first quarter. Allen, that's good.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Passes it to Shea. Fades back. Tim Duncan grabs the miss.
And the defense gave him no space. He had to fade back. That's not an easy look for most guys.
Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Outside, Ball. To stop the run, knocks down the 3-ball. Ball's got his third basket of the night.
And Ball continues to show he can drain threes. The defense must adjust or he is going to keep doing damage. Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. It's been all about Ray Allen for the Spurs. And it was from 3-point range where he did the most damage. He knocked down 3 in that quarter. Right back after this break. And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for the Spurs.
Well, the thing about hitting early threes, it spaces the floor and makes things a lot easier offensively.
And another thing, Coach will be thrilled with the assist numbers, spreading the wealth and creating some offensive opportunities.
So with Curry sitting on the bench, here's how the floor looks for Greg Popovich. We've got Doncic. He's out there with Allen. And it's Duncan in at the 4. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. And the Spurs lead by 11.
Yeah, and how about the stick-to-itiveness on that possession? Stayed with it, didn't give up until the ball was in the basket.
Sampson taken away. Doncic against White. Doncic with it. 17 points in his last outing. Drains it from beyond the arc. Arizon's got the lead up to 14 now for San Antonio. And here are the Timberwolves. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
And really showed their depth when they needed it most. On the road, having to manufacture points.
And those are the games you need as a squad. Proving to yourself you can go win in a hostile environment.
Well, the latest CBA introducing the second apron, limiting, Shams, what teams above the cap can do. How does that new rule affect teams?
Decision makers tell me that they're very much keeping an eye on the second apron, not only of their team, but others, and teams that will have to shed salary because of the second apron and the amount of big contracts we're going to see teams give to players. You're going to see it at the top, but that may dwindle in the middle of their roster. But we will see a more competitive league because of these new CBA changes, and less of a chance of super teams and just more parity and dispersed talent.
Do you constantly read over some of these CBA agreements? I would assume that you do, to have a full understanding of terms like the apron, like we just talked about, or all the other things, the luxury tax, all the things that make deals possible.
It's one thing to have luxury tax, it's a whole nother animal now to have the second apron, and that certainly for teams that are deep in the second apron, that limits their ability to go make major trades, to be able to sign players for more than the minimum, and we're seeing that happen to at least one or two teams around the league right now. So how will that impact things? But certainly the CBA being 50, 60, 70 pages, that's something you pour through before every calendar year.
It is just fascinating. And with an update from the sidelines, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Greg Popovich is guiding a young Spurs team that's hoping to return this franchise to the dominance that saw 5 titles since 1999. Pop said the standards haven't changed. Be very direct, demand, be fair, and love them. They got to know you care about them. So it's all the same formula from 25 years ago to today. Kevin?
It's an interesting story, David. Thank you. And of course, as a Hall of Famer, you bringing that to us? And with the new broadcasting deals, NBA salaries figuring Shams to skyrocket.
And we're not even just talking about the players, Kevin. It's the coaches, it's the office executives. Everyone is seeing some massive, massive paydays. Every single year we're seeing the biggest contract in league history, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger in years to come.
Are you surprised at the size of some of these coaching deals? I mean, the numbers are amazing.
Coaching, these front office deals, it's getting higher and higher. And once Monty Williams signed the deal he did in 2023, that only elevated the market for coaches, and front office executives also are getting big paydays.
Nobody near Williams. Buries it from three-point range. Williams has got his first 3 points of the game.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Now the pass to Shea. No good on the triple.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
That one goes in.
I love that they're continuing to attack despite being up big.
Yeah, they're being absolutely relentless, building this lead in every way possible.
And stolen by Darren Williams. In transition, here comes San Antonio. He had a nice open look right there. Harrison's got 9 points in the quarter.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points. Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Here's Shea's. Count that as his 4th basket of the night. Just 7 shots to get there.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
And Shams, what an absolute delight it has been having you courtside with all of us tonight. Thank you so much for taking time to join us. It has been a true pleasure.
Thanks so much for the invite. I can't wait to do it again sometime. I'm honored. I'm privileged.
Oh, we are going to hold you to that. Thank you again. Always so much fun to have Shams join us. No one with a better pulse on the NBA.
Man, Shams is always the first guy to know about the big moves around the NBA. Love hearing what he has to say.
First one falls for him. The all-time leader in NBA wins, of course, the great Spurs coach, Greg Popovich. So here is a guy who's a peer. What makes him so special, Stan?
Well, first of all, Greg Popovich is not a peer of mine, Kevin. I would never be that presumptuous. This guy is an absolute icon in the coaching world. I think from the outside, I think what makes him so special is he's never looked at himself that way. He's never rested on his laurels. He's a guy that's always evolving and trying to get better.
I love that assessment, but I do think you're his peer.
Not in any way.
Pass to Arizon. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Williams. Arizon's got 16.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
Back to White. He kicks it to Hudson. 4 on the clock. Timberwolves passing it around. White, good. White's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Matching baskets from the perimeter, an earmark of today's game.
Yeah, sometimes you get in a shootout like this, but you just hope that you can get a stop first.
Bounce pass from Williams.
All the officials are all over that one.
The Spurs have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both.
And at the line last season, about 78% as a team. Pretty solid numbers.
That misses, so he splits the free throws. A dominating first half of basketball. Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back to 2K. It's San Antonio out on top at halftime. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny, how'd you see it?
They had a tremendous...
And that's a wrap with the third.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. And it's Williams with the ball for the San Antonio Spurs. When this game is done, they'll be off to take on the Raptors. And that will conclude a 4-game road trip. We've got Hudson. LaMelo Ball is out there with Dwayne Wade. Then there's Scotty Barnes. And it's Shays in at the 4 slot. That's Chris Finch's 5 as we get into the second half. Barnes against Williams. Barnes kicks the ball. Doncic with the steal. A nice shot by Hudson. Hudson's got 8 points.
Well, that's what you want. Get him the ball and see if he can close the gap.
Second half rolling along now. About a minute played here. Shot clock at 6. From the stripe, another one falls for San Antonio. Greg, you've been a part of some great contending teams over the years, but what's it like being on a team at the bottom of the standings with not a lot of hope for the regular season?
Well, Kevin, no one likes losing, but it can certainly take a toll. But it can also allow you to play more freely when you know you're bad and you're not having to deal with the pressure of expectations.
Sinks the triple.
His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Wade surveying the D. Lets it fly. Drained for 2 points.
Yeah, that's what they want to see. He has to start asserting himself. They need him to take command of this game.
Here's Embry. And a great assist by Allen as that one goes in.
Well, they came out of the locker room with a purpose. 4 for 4 already in the half.
Back to Ball. Pass to Shades. On the wing, Barnes. Over Williams. And there are the Timberwolves with another bucket.
And making 3 of their first 4 shots in this half is a strong start. Now it's about growing that momentum.
Pass to Duncan. Over Shades. And another basket for San Antonio.
Wow, 5 straight buckets coming out of half. They are rolling.
Wade finds Ball. Here's Shays. Wade outside. The pass to Ball. It's rebounded by Doncic.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
One thing about LaMelo Ball, he can really take over at times, Greg, when he's healthy and playing well.
And a lot of that is just his feel for the game. He processes quickly and then has the talent to execute. It's pretty hard to stop him when he's in the flow.
Pass to Embry. Now here's Duncan. Allen outside. Pass to Doncic. This one for three, and it's in. Basket number 6 for him thus far. He has only missed 2 shots from the floor.
Having a lot of trouble stopping the three-point shot.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout.
Yeah, just looking to tighten up their defense in the paint. They've got to be better.
Yeah, it's basically a layup line. You're not going to win many games if you can't offer more resistance than that.
Both teams will make substitutions. Here on the 2K leaderboard are the rebounding leaders from a season ago. Scotty Barnes, third.
What a season he had in the paint. I mean, his rebounding numbers really mind-boggling. Who wouldn't love to have a guy like that?
And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. A move that likely helped the league's parity has been shortening max contract lengths. Commissioner Silver says, we used to refer to it as dead money, a star player toward those end years sitting on the bench. We've reduced max contracts to 5 years, and in some cases 6. This way, it moves to more pay for performance. Kevin?
I think, DA, that's a pretty good business decision. It's going to have nice ramifications. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Luka Doncic. That is his first foul of the game. Minnesota making a switch here. Jackson's checked in.
Jackson.
And here's White.
2 minutes remaining in the third. 2 minutes.
Here's Sampson. Duncan with the block.
He's the defensive anchor for this team. Duncan excels at reading shooters and then altering their shots.
Count it. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Spurs.
Well, their shot blocking. The defensive effort level has been great. You got to love that intensity.
And also the hustle showing through with all those steals and not giving much breathing room for the offense to operate.
The kick out to Barnes. It's the three-point bomb. Barnes has got 7 points in the game.
Short corner, but not an easy corner. Barnes knocking that one down.
Greg, this is some kind of note. Last year, Minnesota, for just the second time, had ever won a series in the postseason.
Yeah, they've been bounced in the first round, 10 of 12 appearances. But last year's team was different. Their elite defense fueled the conference finals run.
Outside Curry. Passes it to Doncic. Just 2 to shoot. Shoots over White. The offensive rebound. Duncan. On the dunk by Duncan.
Yeah, and at 7-1, Duncan is a problem in the paint. Outstanding with his extension there and just hammering it home.
Out to White. Back to Barnes. And another 3 for Minnesota.
Yeah, well, passing it inside out is always a good idea. You can usually get your teammate a clean look.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Well, you know it's become a three-point shooting league. Teams shooting a steady diet from outside.
And so it's the San Antonio Spurs, leading by a full 31 points at the end of the quarter. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. We'll get right back to the action when we return. Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game, and it's presented as always by State Farm.
And he sliced the D wide open with his feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Now that is an elite level dish. What a great passer.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. On the court for San Antonio, they've got Curry, also Darren Williams out there, and it's Gugliotta in at the power forward position. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. Now Jackson makes it off the glass. Jackson's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Timberwolves. Outside Williams. Got a piece of it. Here's Brandon. And landing zone fouls have been a part of the rule book for some time now, Coach. It's changed how shooters shoot.
No question, Kevin, and it's a good thing, I think. The NBA needs to protect the shooters. They're doing that. None of us wants injuries that could be prevented. We don't want to see the great shooters just come down and land on somebody's foot and miss 6 to 8 weeks.
And the pass to Bargnani. Jackson with it. There's the feed to Bargnani. Duncan with the block. Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. Williams dishes to Duncan. Over Bargnani. And Duncan gets it to go on the assist by Williams. Williams has got 3 assists tonight. Pass to Brandon. Back to Jackson. And the Timberwolves take on 2 more.
The calling card of Jimmy Jackson, a fantastic jump shooter, always looking to fire.
Here's Short. And another basket for San Antonio.
And watching that defensive effort right there, you wonder how much they want this game.
Yeah, I got to agree. Their defensive commitment's got to be a lot better.
Pass to Brandon. Over Williams. Brandon's shot is off.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Here's Short, guarded by Jackson. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Last year, Coach, as you know, the Timberwolves making it to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, that equaled their deepest run in team history, dropping that series to the Mavs. Minnesota has never been to the finals, one of 5 franchises who've yet to get there.
And he makes the first. And the NBA coach has made sure franchises can't sell their future via draft picks in a trade. What do you think of that?
I think it was probably a good idea because, you know, all of us, coaches, maybe even more than GMs, but organizations get to a point that you want to win so badly in the present that you're willing to just sacrifice the future, and that can lead to some very bad teams down the road, and the NBA doesn't want that.
Yeah, and we've seen that. You're right. A lot of examples. Here's Brandon. Here's Bargnani. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a 3-point play chance here for him.
What's up? Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Balls checked in for the Timberwolves.
Shooting 1.
For San Antonio, they've gone 3 of 4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the fourth. Williams for 3. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Deep 2 from Ball. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And Ball understands how to get these calls, especially against aggressive people.
That one is off. Well, Stan, I know you made the transition from college to the NBA as a coach and were successful, but how hard is that transition for the players to go from college to the pros?
It's an incredible transition, Kevin. In college, let's think about it. The very best teams may have 2 or 3 NBA caliber players. You know how many NBA players are on NBA teams? 15 of them. And the pace of the game, everything happens faster. So all of your reads and decisions have to happen faster. That's what I think takes the time more than the skills themselves.
And that one goes out of bounds. They say last touch by Ball.
Substitution on
The
the court.
Timberwolves making a switch here. Sampson's checked in. Curry's checked in for the Spurs. Shot clock at 5, and he lobs it up toward the rim. Jackson passes the ball. And he drives in. Jackson kicks the ball. 6 on the shot clock. Jacks up a 3, and another 3 for Minnesota.
And he can carry a team. We've seen it from Ball before, and we're seeing it again.
Here's Van Arsdale. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own. Van Arsdale's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Ball finds Jackson. The kick out to Ball. Back to Jackson. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Here's Short. He dishes it to Curry. Passes it to Gugliotta. The pass to Van Arsdale. Puts up a deep 3. And it's Keenan with the rebound. Now the Timberwolves with it. They're on an 11-3 run right now.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Spurs.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And with this effort tonight, grabbing their 8th win of the year.
Important. With this win, they split the season series at a game apiece and also avoid the sweep. And that has to be a relief.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Luka Doncic.
Well, as a coach, it's so fun to watch a player dominate the game offensively like he did in this one.
Pass to Keenan. Unloads off on that one. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about.
Come right where you are.